Well, ladies and gentlemen, I done did it. I bought some Facebook shares. So what I want to take you guys through here today is how many Facebook shares I bought, what price I bought them at. Also, I want to talk about like what price am I willing to continue to buy Facebook shares, and at what price am I willing to load the boat on Facebook, okay? I'm also going to take you through some unbelievable information that's really going to kind of open up your guys' mind in regards to Facebook and why I'm so unbelievably bullish on this stock and why I believe like this is the easiest money in the stock market the next 3 to 5 years. And then I'll erase all this and I'm going to show you some more information that's just going to kind of like open up anybody's eyes who like don't understand like why I'm so unbelievably bullish on this stock, okay? So basically, here's what we're looking at. I bought 53 shares of Facebook as my opening position here. I bought them at $174, about $9,200 worth there, and that's my opening position in Facebook. So first off, let's get into all this information on the whiteboard, and then I'll tell you kind of the prices that I'm thinking about acquiring more shares for, and at what price I would stop buying Facebook shares. And also I'll tell you how big of a position I want to build over time. So I got 4 points illustrated here to you guys, okay? The first one is $178 billion a year is spent worldwide on TV ads, television advertising, okay? $80 billion in the US alone. All this money, or a great portion of it, is going to come over to Facebook and any social media platforms that have a ton of attention. All that money is going to come like an avalanche over the next 3 to 5 years. Why? Because these brands are waking up and they're figuring out, oh, not only are we not getting the same results we once got on TV ads, but we're actually getting negative results, horrible results with these TV ads, okay? Why are these companies getting such bad results? Well, because no one watches commercials nowadays, okay? Everybody watches everything on demand, and if they happen to record something on their DVR, they fast forward it, okay? As soon as the commercials come on, they fast forward it so they never even see the commercials, okay? And if for some reason they're watching a live event or something like that, that these advertisers think is still good advertising spend out there, what do people do? They get up from the couch and go do something else, or they get on their phone and they start surfing their phone, and then the program comes back and they start watching again, okay? So I do that all the time with NFL games and college football games. Like, companies think they're still smart for advertising on NFL games and college football games and NBA games or whatever because, oh, it's a live event, it's so smart to still advertise in those. No, it's not, because as soon as the commercials come on, what do? We pick up our laptops, we pick up our phones, and oh, now the events are back? Okay, now we'll start watching again. It's the dumbest advertising spent, and all these huge brands wonder why they're not getting results, okay? These Procter & Gamble's and these Kimberly-Clark's and all these companies, and they're like, man, well, we're not getting the same results from this television advertising we used to get back in the day. Why is this? Colgate-Palmolive, what happened, man? We used to get all these great results from TV ads. We're not getting those results anymore. Why is this? And we're expanding around the world. Well, because you're advertising. You're spending so much money on television advertising when no one's watching the ads. It's ridiculous, guys. So a tsunami of money is going to come over to companies like Facebook and Google and just continue to come over to them over the next 3 to 5 years, all right? This is the second point. $18 billion a year is spent on radio ads. Who even listens to radio anymore? Like maybe my parents do, or like 60 years old. But seriously, anybody that's like younger generation, we all have either Spotify accounts or Apple Music, or maybe some type of Google Music or something like that. Or some people like listen to music off of YouTube. Like I don't know anybody other than, like I said, my parents, I think, that actually listens to radio, okay? So we got $18 billion. This is in the US alone, okay? $18 billion in radio ads that people are gonna wake up and be like, oh, no one's listening to radio anymore. Everybody listens to Apple Music or Pandora or Spotify or something like that. We should probably spend our money over on Facebook or Instagram or Google or YouTube or something like that where people will actually see these ads, okay? Or listen to these ads. Another $16 billion is spent on magazine ads in the US each year. Another industry that's like, are you serious? Who reads magazines nowadays, okay? It's all about, everybody reads articles online on their phone, on their laptop, on their iPad, whatever, okay? Magazine? Are you serious? $16 billion on paper magazines? This is like ridiculous, guys. Like what are these companies thinking? Like seriously, it's unbelievable. $17 billion on physical newspaper ads per year in the US alone. This money is going to start to come over like an avalanche over the coming years, guys, because sooner or later these guys are going to wake up and be like, oh man, not only are we not getting the same results we used to get. We get no results from all this, okay? So when this tsunami of money continues to come over to Facebook and all these different services, all these social medias, all the things that actually have people's attention nowadays, as this tsunami of money starts to come over, guess what's going to end up happening? Ad rates will start to explode over the next 36 to 48 months. They're just going to go up and up and up, and the cost per thousand, impressions is going to go up dramatically, okay? What used to cost somebody $2 for 1,000 impressions, all of a sudden going to go to 5 and then 10 and then 20, because all these big companies that are spending all this money over here are going to realize, what are we doing? Like, there's no attention over here. We need to go to where the attention's at, okay? And it's funny because millennials are completely misunderstood, okay? It's so hilarious for me to watch CNBC or Bloomberg or some of these different places, and they'll have someone that's supposed to be so smart, like, come on and try to talk about the millennial generation and how, the millennial generation, they try to like go into the psychoanalysis of like the millennials and, oh my gosh, they like to do this, but they don't like to do this, and they're so much different than their parents and whatnot. And it's like people try to like be too smart with stuff. It's like, no, stupid, this is what's going on. The millennials don't see any of this damn advertising. All these stupid companies, all these unbelievably stupid companies are spending $200+ billion on a bunch of stuff that millennials don't even do. Okay, how is a millennial going to see a physical newspaper ad or a magazine ad or listen to a radio ad or watch television ads? Millennials aren't involved with any of that. You want to get through to the millennial generation, go to where the millennial generation's at, okay? You need to go on Facebook. You need to go on Instagram. You need to go on Snapchat. You need to be advertising on YouTube, Google, all these services that people are actually at, okay, and are actually spending time at. Not television ads when no millennial watches a television ad, okay? Not radio ads when I don't know one millennial who listens to the radio. Not physical magazines. Are you kidding me? Like they wonder why like millennials aren't buying from the old school corporations. It's like, well, if you're not getting in front of their face, how are they going to buy from you? It's so simple, man, and they just try to overcomplicate it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. As a millennial, it's hilarious to listen to because they don't understand life is really freaking simple, man. They want to take it into all this like in-depth crap, and it's like, it's not that complicated, man. It just makes people feel better to kind of give some really complex answer out there and make them look really smart. No, it's because these companies are spending all this money over here when this should all be spent on the platforms where millennials are actually at, guys. So I'm going to erase this now. We're going to get into a whole bunch of other points, and then we'll talk about like the dollar amounts I want to buy for and when I would stop buying Facebook stock. All right, if that didn't already blow your mind enough, I'm going to show you something else that should blow your mind even more, okay? So a service called App Annie did something really cool recently. They basically went ahead and they calculated the most downloaded apps over the past 10 years in the iOS store. So basically since the iOS store was created, the App Store was created back in 2008, okay? They took the most downloaded ones and kind of ranked them from number 1 to number 10. And here's what we found, okay? The number 1 most downloaded app in iOS history is Facebook, that's owned by Facebook, okay? Number 2 is Facebook Messenger, owned by Facebook once again, okay? Number 3 is the service you're watching this on, which is YouTube, which is owned by Google. Number 4 is Instagram, which is also owned by Facebook. Number 5 is WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook. Number 6 is Google Maps, which is owned by Google. Number 7 is Snapchat, which is owned by Snapchat. Number 8 is Skype, which is owned by Microsoft. Number 9 is WeChat. Number 10 is QQ, and both those are owned by a Chinese company, a huge Chinese company named Tencent, okay? So let's put some things into perspective. For the top 5 most popular apps in the history of the App Store, the Apple App Store, are Facebook apps, okay? So you just look at this chart here and you can say which players are going to benefit the most from all that advertising money I just showed you coming over in droves and droves. Obviously, the number 1 beneficiary of this is Facebook without question, okay? Number 2 beneficiary after that is Google, okay? Obviously, we know Google search is still super popular. That would have probably been 11 or 12. They only showed the top 10, unfortunately, but I can almost guarantee you the Google app would be super highly ranked, okay? So look at that. Just look at the chart, okay? It gets really simple to understand the tsunami of money that's going to come into the space and where that tsunami of money is going, okay? It's going into Google and it's going into Facebook more than it's going to go into anybody else, okay? Very, very simple. This is simple stuff, guys. So next I want to get into like what cost basis I'm willing to continue to buy up to and how big I want this position to get. Alrighty, so now the big question is, what price would I stop buying Facebook shares at, and how heavy do I continue to buy these shares? Well, basically, here's my view. The first view is under $180 a share on Facebook, it's like stealing money. It's like better than robbing the bank, okay? This is my view on it. The first shares I got to buy here are at about $174, okay? Anything under $180 is like just such easy money, guys. When you just understand the economics of this business and how much money is going to flow into this business over the coming 5-10 years, anything under $180, which if it's under $180, that puts it around a $500 billion market cap or maybe even a less, okay? That's like stealing money, all right? $180 to $200 is like an add selectively. What does that mean? It basically means that it's not a no-brainer, and this like under $180 for Facebook, for me, it basically puts it above every other stock in the entire stock market as far as me putting money into that stock, okay? $180 to $200 is kind of my position where I'm like, I would continue to add shares, but I would do it selectively, and I would think about maybe there's a better option for me out there, okay? And so it's more of a selective buyer rather than this is like no-brainer type buying where I'm just flooding money in regardless. Even if there's another stock that's a deal, I'm still putting it in Facebook if it's under 180, okay? Now over $200 at that position, I would kind of just stop buying, okay? I would just be like, no, I'm gonna hold my position and just watch it go for years and years to come. Ideally, I would love to build this into a $100,000+ position across all my accounts. In my public account alone, I would love to build that into somewhere around like maybe a $20,000 to $40,000 position in that particular account and whatnot, and just continue to build it from there. It's a beautiful stock, it's a beautiful opportunity, and it's just kind of all coming together. And a forward P of 20 for this type of growth company and what this company has going forward over the next 5 to 10 years, it's like shooting free throws if you're Steph Curry or something like that, guys. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your opinion is down there in that comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day.